Hello all sentient beings and welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, where we talk about all news, comics, and media related to the... On this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode, we review Dreamwave's Transformers Generation 1 Issue 2. Sarah Pitre-Durocher steps away from comics, and Free Comic Book Day is looking to be hosted online. Today is Friday, May 1st, 2020, and this is episode 179 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that needs more than a piece of the Matrix to wake up in the morning. I'm your host, Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast, and this week I am joined by the one, the only, Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Yeah, you don't want more than one of me.
No.
How you doing?
I am well. I don't think I can handle the audio issues that would come from more than one of you.
I know, that's the technical problems.
Mm-hmm.
One of me would be fixing it, the other one would be breaking it.
All right, and we start off the show this week with the same thing we do every week with talking about donations. We don't have any new Donatreons this week. It's not unexpected. We would be absolutely shocked if we got somebody new right now. But, you know, it's a tough time for everyone out there. Nobody's really doing a lot of work, but the people who are working are essential, and we thank them. But if you are out there and you're looking for something to do with your money, you can send it to us if you want, or you can buy some stuff from our merch shop. We got transmissionspodcast.com/shop, and you can go on there and you can buy a whole bunch of crazy crap that we have our pictures on. We have a bunch of t-shirts that you can buy. You can buy stuff with our logos on it. It's a crazy site, so go out there and buy something from there if you want. You can also check out our good friend K-Girl's shop at teepublic.com/user/superstark, and she's got some really awesome things on there as well, including some new t-shirt designs, so take a look at that. And also, like I mentioned in the show earlier on in the week, the toy show, if you can't afford to do anything monetarily, just mention us. Tweet something out. Post something on Facebook. TikTok something. What is that? Is that a thing? Can you TikTok a mention for Transmissions?
I don't know.
Instagrammy us. Yeah, I'm old.
You're old.
Yeah. So that would be a great help to just spread the word of Transmissions and let people know that we're still doing something. We haven't stopped. So
we don't have new comics, but there's plenty of old stuff to review.
Lots of old stuff, yeah. Including a new uncut version of Empire of Rust, episode 22, exclusive to our Donatreons. So you can take a listen to that. That's the unedited version. It's out there for everyone to listen to. Hopefully you get a kick out of that.
RSS feed if you're on Patreon, or if you support us on PayPal, I think it'll be in the Dropbox.
Mm-hmm. 22 episodes. It's been going a long time. Right on. Well, let's get into the show. And we start off every show with comics news. All right, first up this week is a tweet from our one of our favorite artists, Sarah Pitre-Durocher, and we got you reminded about this from someone in our Discord. So thanks, True Deadman, for reminding us of this. It's a tweet from Sarah that says, I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but I've gone back full-time at my job at Volta a few weeks ago, and I won't be doing comics for an undetermined amount of time. 'Twas a heck load of fun. I'm glad I took the plunge and did it, but now is the time for other things. We just want to say audibly, thank you very much, Sarah, for what you did with comics. You did great work, and we hope to still see you at conventions. We expect to still see you at some of the local conventions.
Assuming conventions ever happen again.
Exactly, right? So, she does go on to say that, she still hopes to do like covers and stuff, but interiors is something that is not something that she's looking to do anymore.
At least for now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's something that we see a lot of people, not just IDW artists, go and do is they just start doing covers work, and that's fine. It's,
I don't remember seeing someone going from like brand new and just rocketing up to being like one of the top artists so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like her work has just always been spectacular, and she can do so many different styles. It's definitely going to be missed.
Oh yeah. SPD is going to be missed for sure. She is a fantastic talent. And remember, the work that she does at Volta is they do a lot of Transformers work anyway, so we still might see her work in other places on box design, on the TCG, we might still see that. So, she does a lot of work over there at Volta, and we hope that we still get to see her work in other spots. So for now, we bid you the best. We can't wait to see you again in hopefully at a convention, Sarah. So
yeah, definitely.
Next up, we got a statement from it's a statement from IDW Publishing. They have furloughed. I don't know. Furloughed? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All of their employees due to the COVID-19 related stuff. So basically the comics industry for them is shut down, and so they've had to lay off all their employees. And this is a statement that is coming from Denton Tipton.
No, he was furloughed.
Well, that's what I thought, but I don't see who this is coming from then.
I think it's from the PR manager.
Oh, okay. Who is nameless.
Keith Davidson.
Oh.
It's in the statement.
Not naming this. Keith Davidson. Okay. So anyway, the statement reads, due to COVID-19 crisis and impacts on market conditions, IDW has to make the difficult decision to furlough several valued staff members beginning April 20th. IDW senior PR manager Keith Davidson told Newsarama. There you go. That's where you got the name. The well-being of its staff is of the utmost importance to IDW. Thus, for those furloughed employees, the company will continue to make full health benefits available, with IDW covering 100% of eligible employees' health premiums costs through the planned end of the furlough. That's really cool. So that's IDW employees, which unfortunately does not cover any of the comic creators.
Because, they are all freelance.
They are freelance. So yeah, that kind of sucks for the people who actually make the comics that we really love. So people who are drawing and lettering, well, actually the letterers I think are actual employees, but the artists and the colorists and the writers, they are all not getting any of these benefits, which really kind of sucks. So yeah, let's hope that this doesn't continue on very long, and then these writers and creators can get back to doing what they need to do, because they have nothing coming in. They have no income. These creative types, they have absolutely no income right now, which is terrible.
Also, IDW has no income.
Yeah.
But I think we can all say, just in regards to this, thanks, Diamond, for just screwing over the entire comic industry.
Right. This is a bigger discussion. I don't know whether Diamond would be able to ship to anywhere. I don't know whether there's a lot at play here. Well,
yeah.
Where could Diamond get anything printed if nothing's being printed, right?
Well, from what I understand, the publishers handle the printing, and then they ship it to Diamond, who then ships it to the stores.
Right.
So Diamond is like the guy in Office Space that works with the clients and gets the information to the engineers.
He's essential. Somebody needs to talk to the customer.
Yeah, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens in a few weeks when Diamond's planned shipping actually starts happening again. The whole industry is just a big mess, but I think we're going to have a lot of discussion topics in the coming weeks.
I think so too. There's definitely the one thing that seems to be a running storyline through this entire COVID-19 pandemic is that it is exposing a lot of the holes in the system. I don't have to tell you, as an American, you definitely see it. Here in Canada, we have a lot of holes as well in our system, but the ones that are being shown in the U.S. system is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, just all over. But the comic industry just seemed like it was like, I don't know, one thing would go wrong. Like the fact that Diamond didn't have enough money to cover even like a couple weeks before they went to the publishers and like, we're going to pay you 25%, and then we're going to push the remaining on, like, we're going to pay you 25% a week of what we owe you. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You are the monopoly in a billion-dollar business.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's crazy. So yeah, no, we're going to keep our eye on this. There is these topics, these corporate topics when it comes to the comic book industry, these are liquid. Like, they are changing daily, if not hourly. So
yeah, I mean, we're recording this on Sunday the 26th. Who knows? Everything could have changed by the time this episode comes out.
Yes. I mean, this is going to come out on Friday, the 1st of May. This entire topic could be moot by then, or it could be exacerbated to the point where, you know, our numbers are way off. So anyway, we're going to leave it at that. The employees at IDW have been laid off, and there's no money. That's where we're standing right now. Next up, as far as creative types go, author Brian Ruckley has started working on. I think he's done. Actually, he's probably done the next arc. So yeah, he's showing off the title pages for issues 20, 21, 22, and 23. These are the next 4 issues, and from what I understand from reading this, I think he's done writing them all. So they're all ready to go. He's ready for everything to start back up, so that these scripts can go off to who they need to go off to, get approved, and then get drawn up. But yeah, so he's still working, probably for no pay right now, but he's still doing something.
He might have gotten all this done before the furloughs.
It's possible. It's possible. I mean, as a writer, you may have a contract for, say, 30 issues, right? So you might as well just write, get it done, get yourself ahead. Yeah, as other creators go, like artists and whatnot, they really can't do anything until they get the scripts, right? So there you go. It's a Decepticon-based arc, I believe, is what I guess I read here.
The story has a comment from Anna Malkova, who is the artist on some of this, that says that she thinks that the arc is so good it's worth the wait.
Cool.
I'm hoping, being that the Decepticons are in the name, that we're going to start seeing more action.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's called Rise of the Decepticons, right?
Yeah.
So let's hope it's got a little bit more action. I'm assuming when the Decepticons start to rise up, like it's implying, you're going to get a little bit more violence and some shit gets blown up. It's kind of what I'm leaning towards. And finally, in comic news, we've got the IDW's My Little Pony Transformers miniseries. We've got an interview with the creative team. So it's a short little interview where there's questions being asked of the writers Ian Flynn and Sam Maggs and artist Jack Lawrence. So if you want to take a look at this, I'll let you read it yourself. It's literally just 2 questions. One's questions for the writers, one's questions for Jack Lawrence, the artist. Take a look at that and give yourself a little bit of a read if you want to read about it. If you, I don't believe there's any spoilers in here. I haven't read it myself, but it doesn't really. I can't imagine it gives it too much away. So take a look.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And that's it for comics news. Let's go on to the review. And we're going to do a classic review once again. This one is going to tie into the one we did last week. This is Dreamwave Transformers Generation 1, Volume 1, Number 2. Jeremy, take it away.
Dreamwave Transformers Generation 1, Number 2. This is written by Chris Saraceni, art by Pat Lee, inks by Rob Armstrong, backgrounds by Edwin Garcia, colors by Ramil Sunga, Gary Young, and Alan Wang. Flats by Kenny Lee. Letters by Dreamer of Design. Prepress by Kel O Graphics. And there was no editor listed, so let that.
Well, that was obvious.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
No, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how Dreamwave was set up, but anyway, that is a very long credit list.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I will do this one little piece. But
Doorman
anyway.
was mailroom.
Yeah. So
Janitorial.
Anyway, there were 3 covers here. The first one has Autobots, Jazz, Mirage, and Prowl all posing very awesomely, pointing at the reader. Cover B, or not even cover B, that's just another cover, has the Seekers, Thundercrackers, Starscream, and Skywarp also pointing at the reader. Maybe they're pointing at each other.
There's some other Seekers in there, too.
Oh, there are. They're Coneheads. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Plus another Seeker that's a Starscream alike behind Ramjet.
Ah, I see. An unnamed Seeker. Yeah. Probably they just didn't know what they were doing. I don't know. And then there is a cover that the wiki lists as a reissue cover, and it has Prime and Megatron. And the wiki says all covers by Pat Lee. I'm not sure if this is Pat Lee in quotes or just Pat Lee. Maybe this is early enough that it's actually him.
Well, the Seeker one, you can definitely see Pat Lee's signature in the bottom corner.
Yeah, I can see it on the Optimus and Megatron one too. So,
right.
Daryl, which one of these do you like?
Well, I mean, I do kind of like the third cover, the Optimus and Megatron one. He's got the profile shot of Megatron's head just looks really cool. The shot of Optimus is that the Dreamwave Optimus, and looking back on it, it doesn't really look great. But at the time, I think this is probably the cover I would have bought. And I don't remember which cover I actually own, but I think because this is issue 2, and I think because what I explained last week is that I ended up going back and getting all the reprints until issue 3. I think I might actually have this one too. So I'm going to go with Optimus and Megatron.
The reprint cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will have to say, like, I showed off on trips to the store. I got the Seeker cover. Mm-hmm. But I really do like that Optimus Megatron cover. I think that is just, like you said, you have to put it in the context of the time. Mm-hmm. But it's a really striking cover. I really like it. All right, let's get into the story. This is Prime Directive Part 2. Begins with a General Halo and Spike standing in front of the body of Optimus Prime. Spike is the General's last hope. He's had people trying to revive Prime since pulling him out of the Arctic Ocean. If Megatron did survive, they're going to need the big guy. Spike has them open Prime's chest, and despite holding a grudge against him due to the death of Spike's father on the Ark, he decides that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of his own. And he pulls a piece of the Matrix that Prime had given him that he had been wearing on a necklace. And with a second's pause, he inserts it into the center of the Matrix, and a blinding light engulfs everything in the room. In the Arctic at an oil refinery, the workers stop and stare as a group of 3 helicopters arrive carrying a gigantic box. When the helicopters get close enough, the cables are cut and the box crashes to the ground and the door opens. Bumblebee, Grimlock, and Soundwave and Starscream emerge from the box and begin laying waste to the refinery and the people working there. One of the workers runs away, but in the blinding snow, he runs right into a white transformer. It's Prowl, and the worker is quickly crushed. In a remote location, Lazarus and a group of people are watching the attack. When it's done, all the people applaud, and they begin trying to bid for the Transformers from the attack. But they're not up for auction yet. Lazarus reveals his lot number 1, Megatron. However, before Ladies Man 217 can even get in a bid, Lazarus hears a voice behind him complaining about the arrogance of humans. Megatron wasn't as under his control as Lazarus thought. On the coast of the Arctic Ocean, General Halo, shows Optimus Prime where he had been pulled out of the water. He doesn't know where any of the others might have ended up, but Optimus intends to find out. Halo complains that there's no time. Megatron must be stopped. But Optimus can't do this alone, and he raises the Matrix above his head and uses it to revive some old friends. In the ocean, under ice, or trapped in snow, several Autobots are revived, including Jazz, Mirage, Huffer, Sunstreaker, Sideswipe, and even Superion in a combined mode. Nearby, the helicopters are returning from the refinery attack when Megatron explodes out of Lazarus's headquarters and begins to fire on them. And that's where the issue ends. So, I mean, it's really, like, story-wise, at the time, I really thought, this was, like, some of the most amazing stuff I had seen in Transformers. The action, like, it really gets there. You've never seen Transformers actually killing humans, and it gets right to it. To see the whole mind control plot just fall away so quickly, and issue 2, it seems like that's already, they aren't going to draw out the Megatrons under Lazarus control. That was surprising. It was a fairly simple plot, I think, so far, but, like I said, we hadn't really seen a lot of stuff like this before. The art was, I don't know. A lot of the complaints we had last week are still there. The long necks. I have issues with just the cold weather gear again. But I don't know. Some of the action stuff I thought was actually really good. Like the oil refinery being destroyed. The like guy running into Prowl. I thought that's a good use of a character where, in a snowstorm, and he's running away, he's looking behind and just runs right into Prowl. And then just seeing kind of Prowl's back as you see the human scream. That just, you hadn't seen that before. And then, I don't know, Megatron's design I wasn't really super pleased with, but it's the Dreamwave style. But yeah, overall, I thought this was a fairly good issue. Daryl, what'd you think?
I liked it, actually. I thought it was a fun book. I agree with you on like some of the things about when the characters are being, running from the Autobots and just the Transformers in general who are coming out of the crate. The one guy who's backing up and runs into Prowl, I thought that was pretty cool. The auction would totally be a black market auction. Like, that's been portrayed in movies countless times. The fear that Megatron just comes alive during it, that's just kind of cool. You assume that he kills everyone in that room, right? That's the assumption, but you don't know. There's no bodies. I will say that
the writing for Megatron, like what he says, I could totally hear, Megatron saying that.
I like, this is the second issue now, and they've given 2 camera angles that I really like. And this one here with the kind of soldiers walking with Prime's feet behind them, and then he just steps over them. I really like that camera angle. I thought that was really cool. So, yeah, they're just, he can overtake them in a single step, which is obvious, but then you just see him just kind of staring out over the cliffs and stuff. I don't particularly like the idea that the Matrix just calls out to the other Autobots and wakes them up. And then they just kind of emerge from the ice and the, and the snow like zombies. I don't really like that part of it, but I do like the fact that he has a way of getting a hold of just Autobots. Maybe not bringing them back online like it seems to do, right? It's like this, like the Matrix is some kind of MacGuffin that can do whatever the storyline needs it to do. Not particularly the way I would have liked the Matrix to be used. All in all, I do like the way that the story's kind of going. The art again is Dreamwave era art. It's done fairly well. The Transformers are rendered pretty well. I'm taking Optimus out of the fact because we all have our complaints about the way Optimus is drawn. But I do like the way that like Sideswipe and Sunstreaker and Wheeljack and Mirage and Prowl and they're all drawn very, very well. And that's one of the reasons why I got back into reading these, and I was so enthralled with them at the time. So, and Megatron, for one, Megatron just looked badass. And I think I remember that, seeing Superion merge from the ice combined, was just great. Like, they're starting the story off with a combiner, like that's cool.
But I was confused about that because I'm like, if all these people were in the Ark, or the Ark 2, when it exploded, why would they have been in the Ark combined?
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember if it's explained. I haven't read ahead.
Right. Maybe it's a Prime Wars trilogy kind of thing. Once they're combined, that's the way they are, they can't decombine.
Yeah, maybe they're fused, but like I said, it's been so long since I've read these, I can't remember.
The one thing that got me from the beginning, though, is this is supposed to be some kind of continuation from the G1 cartoon or comic or something like that, right?
I think cartoon.
So I don't remember why Spike's talking about Sparkplug leaving with Prime, right? And how, like, where did he go? Where did Sparkplug go with Prime? And why is,
that was explained at the end of the last issue in that news article.
Right. The prose article that I never read.
He was on the Ark 2. There was like a bunch of humans on the Ark 2.
Gotcha.
When it exploded, obviously the Transformers were able to survive it, but I don't think the humans
right. The fleshy bodies aren't very durable.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. Yeah, no, it's a decent issue. It's a decent issue 2 for sure. And, you judge it by standards that are kept, that Transformers comics have kind of, that have preceded it. Obviously, the Ruckley run has been slow. Even the James Roberts run started off kind of slow. There was a lot of political stuff in there and a lot of space opera stuff, so, you give these kind of beginnings a bit more leniency because they are the start, they're setting groundwork, right?
They're still trying to figure out exactly
right, and what's the story they're trying to tell, right? Obviously, it's the Transformers are being discovered after a long time, and there's a bad person here who's trying to use them for warmongering, and then there's the good side who's trying to get them back. But that's the gist of what the 6-parter is going to be. But you got to introduce all the characters too, so you really can't get too deep into the weeds here on character development. But I think it's a decent second issue for sure.
Yeah, and there's a couple other things I want to mention here. In the digital version we were looking at, there's like in the middle of it, there's this like advertisement for a lithograph that's like got Trypticon and Metroplex fighting. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure who did that.
I don't know. It's gorgeous, though.
But in my paper copy I have here, it's got the RID 2001 Autobots. I'm not sure if I see Decepticons. I think it's just Autobots. But this is by James Reyes and Alan Wang with Kenny Lee. And it's a really nice image. And then on the next page, they're selling they're advertising the Soundwave poster that everyone has seen with Soundwave with like all of his tapes kind of surrounding him. And I think everyone has probably seen that. But it's weird that the wiki here says that the 2-page spread by James Reyes and Alan Wang had Generation 1 Autobots. Mine has already.
This lithograph you're talking about has Don Figueroa isn't that his signature in the bottom right corner?
I can't tell.
D-O and then something's cut off.
Oh, is that D-O? I thought it was I don't know. It's a really nice,
it's gorgeous,
image. And then one other thing I want to mention here: the wiki says that this sold 115,655 copies.
Yeah,
or that's how many were ordered in May 2002. That would demolish the sales charts these days.
Yeah, it was like I looked on them from last week, and number 1 sold 118,000, and these would still be number 1 comics today. They would absolutely destroy Detective Comics, Batman, Amazing Spider-Man, anything that's big. The only thing that would be bigger would be like an event book that comes out, like, something. I think Spawn number 300 probably sold more because it was a huge lead up to that. But yeah, a regular number 1 that comes out it doesn't come close to these books anymore.
Yeah, the industry has changed so much, but the average Transformer book I think now is 15 to 17,000.
I wouldn't even go that far. I'd say closer to 10.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So regardless, it's a fraction of this.
Yeah. When you see, that's one thing that always makes me laugh. When you see the Marvel comics from back in the 80s and they say those last couple issues were low distribution, they were over 100,000 copies, right? That's low distribution for the 80s. But the books, if you're buying a physical comic book of Transformers from the IDW today, that's low distribution. You have one of maybe 10,000 copies that are printed. that's extremely low distribution when it comes to when it comes to comic books in general.
And who knows what's going to happen, in the coming months.
Yeah. So
these days, this was like, I guess, kind of the recovery of the speculator crash.
I think this was just at the end of it.
Was right around that time.
Just at the end of it.
But then they had the 80s nostalgia boom that they were just like at the perfect time for. I don't know. It's a really interesting time in comics to look at. All right. Well, that's our thoughts on a Dreamwave, but Yoshi Act sent in his thoughts as well, like he did last week. So let's hear what Yoshi had to say about issue 2.
Hey guys, so I've read issue 2, and I got to thank you all from the bottom of my heart, because now all I can see are long necks through the entire damn comic book. It's just one character with a long neck after another character with a long neck, and once you've pointed it out, I can't unsee it. It's disturbing. It's not pretty. I don't know what to say. Compared to issue 1, issue 2 for me isn't holding as well. Now, I know Daryl was super excited with this comic book. He couldn't quit talking about it. He compared it to staring into the white-hot center of a double rainbow. But issue 2 for me, it's my worst fear realized. It's starting to feel like it's written for the trade. And I say that because I don't feel like there was any it wasn't a story. It just didn't feel like, for my $3 or $4, whatever I paid for it, I felt like I would have had to have read the first issue to really enjoy the second issue. And to me, not a whole lot happened. Honestly, this issue would have been a lot better if it had started out with Spike, maybe not quite getting up to seeing Optimus Prime's body, and it being a flashback of what had happened to his dad, and then ended with him adding that little medallion or necklace piece to the Matrix. That to me would have been a much better issue, and I found that whole subplot in this to be the most interesting part for me. Everything else just kind of felt crowbarred in. It's an intriguing idea having an evil corporation selling Transformers to the highest bidder. I like that. It felt quick. It just didn't feel like a complete thought. And I guess a little predictable to find that the U.S. intelligence agency is just trying to put together their own controllable Transformers to combat this. I guess in the end they weren't really controllable. Optimus Prime was autonomous as opposed to what these mercenaries felt they were doing with the other Transformers that they had captured. And the reveal of the Transformers that were in this issue, I guess it just didn't have the same impact on me as issue 0 and issue 1 did. I don't know if that was the art finally realizing what we're getting with this series, or if it was just a story, or if it was just so much that they were trying to cram in that nothing felt like it happened, and why it feels more like it's starting to be written for the trade. I hope that's not the case. Like I'm invested. I'm ready to read issue 3. I'm ready to give my thoughts on that, but I guess issue 2 was a bit of a letdown. I'm sorry, Daryl. It's not all rainbows, but yeah, that's my 2 cents, guys. Thanks for letting me record this, and I'll catch you guys soon. Later.
I think we're going to be continually on the opposite sides of Yoshi's views on these books. It just seems like, we like this one better. He didn't like it as much as number 1.
I guess it seems like he was confused as to what my opinions were. Yeah, whatever. Sounds like we're going to do issue 3 next week, but yeah, we'll see where that one goes. I own all the issues. I haven't gone back and read them myself, but maybe I should read ahead.
Well, what else are we going to do? That will be it for our comic review. I believe next week we're going to continue on and do number 3. Yeah, we'll just see where this goes.
Cool. All right, and then let's move on to media news. All right, in media news this week, we've got another video about Cyberverse. It's a Season 3 trailer. I don't know why they're coming out with Season 3 trailers, but it's a stop-motion version, so maybe that's why. I'm not able to watch it because I'm in another country outside of America, so the people at Hasbro apparently don't think there's any other countries in the world other than the United States of America, but it's not available outside of that country, so I can't see it. Jeremy, can you describe it for me? Is it fun? Is it interesting? Should I be able to watch this?
It's a mix of animation from the show and then similar scenes from the actual trailer with toys.
Ah, okay. No,
and the audio is the audio from the show.
Nothing to lose sleep over.
It's cute. Yeah, no, it's not any. It's cute, but you're not missing much.
Okay. Next up, we've got more of the Soundtrack Saturdays. This song is called Explore, Repair, and it is a piece of music. It's just another piece of instrumental, but it's extremely recognizable. We're going to put a piece of it in the show notes, a piece of it in the show right here. Now you definitely recognize that. I know you did.
Yeah, it's got that hook that whenever the Autobots are kind of doing something or coming on the scene, you get that little da 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 part. But I think this is specifically from when the arc was being reactivated in that first episode.
It's from a lot of different spots, but yeah, it's a cool piece of music, and definitely one that if you were gonna grab a piece of music off of this Soundtrack Saturdays, this would probably be one of those top 5. So take a listen to that. And lastly, it's another one of those Hasbro's bring home the fun, free printable pieces of things for the pandemic, whatever. So this is a Spot the Bot worksheet. It's like a Where's Waldo, but easier for kids. So it's printable. You can, print off at home, especially if you've got a color printer. It's very colorful, and it's Spot the Bot. So you can open it up here. It's just one sheet, but you can definitely take a look at it. It's very colorful. So if you have a color printer, you're going to use a lot of ink on this, and but it's fun. It looks cool, especially for those younger kids who need something to do always. So yeah. Print this off. It looks like a menu that you'd get at a diner or something that just kind of has them do something for a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's fun for the whole family.
Stop it. But that's it for media news. Let's move on to convention news.
All right, we have a couple things here in convention news. The first, and they haven't actually given a date as to when this is going to happen, but IDW put out a tweet saying that Chris Ryall, who is the president, publisher, and chief creative officer, and editor-in-chief John Barber are going to be essentially hosting the panel that would have been at WonderCon this year. They're going to be hosting it on YouTube, and they're asking for questions. Like I said, they didn't give a date in this tweet about when this panel is going to be, so we'll update you as soon as it is. But we'll have a link to the tweet here, and if the panel has not happened yet, get some questions in. It seems like, I'm betting more people are going to be doing panels like this online, and I think it's an awesome idea. And we'll have a link. We'll be talking about the panel when it actually happens. The next thing we have is we talked about this on the toy show, but that's it's a comic thing, but it's happening this weekend, so we wanted to make sure to get the word out. This weekend would have been Free Comic Book Day, so pour one out for Free Comic Book Day. But Stadium Comics, which I believe is in your neck of the wood, up in Canada, they are going to be having a stream for on Saturday, May 2nd, with a bunch of events. They're going to have artist Q&A spotlights, a virtual artist gallery, theme sale, and giveaways. And the artists that they are going to be having are Adam Gorham, he's worked for Marvel, Valiant, and IDW. Dan Parent, who's worked for Archie and on Die Kitty Die. Marcus Toe, who's worked for both DC and Marvel. And someone that might be familiar to our audience, Mr. Alex Milne, who has worked on Transformers. He's probably the top artist that Transformer comic fans, I think he would be at the top of everyone's list. Check this out. We'll have the link in the show notes, and they're giving away free comics to people that order from their website. I will say that they're in Canada, so if you're outside of Canada, shipping is probably going to be a bit pricey, but I don't know. I mean,
they do a lot. I mean, their business is almost entirely online now, so I would assume that they have a fairly significant way of doing shipping now. So I wouldn't assume.
Yeah, I mean, they do have this thing on their website saying, like, someone in this place purchased this, and I'm seeing things from the UK and from the US. So, check them out. They'll probably have some awesome stuff. I see someone bought 3 Jokers. Didn't think that was out yet. But this is some late breaking news after our recording, but as of now, it happened on Monday, and this is out on Friday. But TFCon Toronto 2020 has been moved from July to September 4th through 6th, 2020. This is, they say it's because of, it'll give them a better chance to deliver the event that they're expecting and that people expect of them. If you have a hotel reservation, it will be canceled automatically. They say you do not need to contact the hotel. If you do feel the need, please wait a few weeks, give the hotel time to work through all of this. They've got a lot of stuff that they're going to be going through, I'm sure. And if you are planning on going in September, you do need to rebook at that time or for those dates. And they're saying that it's likely that masks are going to be required and that the number of people on the show floor is going to be limited. But that's just probably the world we live in now. So we talked a lot about this, a lot more on the toy show this week as the news was just coming out. So if you want some more discussion, you can go listen to that if you haven't heard it. That is it for convention news this week. So I guess we will go into feedback. All right, we have a voicemail from Dr. Pants. If you would like to be cool like Dr. Pants and leave us a voicemail or any other kind of feedback, go to transmissionspodcast.com/feedback, and everything you need is right there to send us feedback. So let's hear what Dr. Pants has to say.
Let's play that funky pants music.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Dr. Pants, and I've got some commentary/feedback. I just listened to your podcast, The Alt Mode, where you reviewed Dreamwave issue 1 and the 4-part preview, I guess issue 0 or whatever it was. And I just wanted to drop my 2 cents in because Dreamwave is what got me really heavily into comics. It was when I discovered there was a comic shop near where I lived. I had no idea it was even there. It was a little hole-in-the-wall thing. And around 2003, when I found it, that's when I found all the Dreamwave comics, and I grabbed everything I could. And there's a lot of fun stories with that, but I'm going to keep this short here for you guys. I just want to say, after hearing you guys talk about it and give your honest opinions, and then hear Yoshi's commentary on it, and couldn't believe how rave his review was on it. I had to get that issue 1 back out and take a look. And number one, I gotta say, I actually do enjoy the artwork. I can see where you guys are coming from, particularly with the Optimus Prime cover, because I can't ignore the head neck situation on that now that you've mentioned it. But the rest of the artwork, I do kind of really love. Looking at the rest of the cover, looking at the rest of the bots, there's something about it. The human facial expressions don't really bother me. Maybe it's the fact that I'm a big anime fan because I'm a giant weeb, and maybe that's my problem. I don't know, but I enjoyed the artwork, the story. That first issue was kind of cool with all the mystery, and I hope you guys go through and you review more of these. I'd like to hear what you have to say, and look forward to everything. Talk to you later, guys.
All right, well, thanks, Dr. Pants, for that. And as you see, we did record more about the series. So
not because you recommended it or asked for it, Dr. Pants. We did it because we wanted it to.
Yeah, we had already planned to do it.
Yeah, so there.
Yeah, it's nice hearing your thoughts on it. And yeah, I mean, we all have different thoughts. And I think we both enjoyed this issue 2 a little bit more than issue 1. That'd be safe
I would say so. I think it's got more Transformers in it. That's for sure.
more action. I think the art style works a little bit more for the more dynamic action scenes.
Yep.
So yeah, well, and that is it for feedback. We did get an email this week, but I think Charles probably wants to be involved in the response, so we're going to push that back. So I guess that would be it for feedback.
Right on. Well, thank you very much. Once again, Dr. Pants, thanks for the voicemail. And I hope that more people start leaving us voicemails. What else do you got to do during the day? Please. I mean, get onto the website. Leave us a voicemail.
You can do it from your phone.
That's where Dr. Pants does it. But anyway, I wanted to say thank you for listening once again to this show. We know that you have many choices out there, and you choose to listen to us. I'm dumbfounded as to why, but hey, thank you. Really. It's a fun show to do, and I enjoy it. Thanks for listening once again, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
All right.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
And we're going to do a...
I'm sorry.
You're stealing my thunder? Damn you, Jeremy. And we're going to do a classic review again once again. Oh, see, you screwed me up so much.
Blame me. Sure.
You're blamed.
Daryl. Can I hear you, Daryl? I guess I have put Daryl to sleep. I don't know. Mike, please fix that. Make that sound good. Figure out where to put the Yoshi response. Thanks, Mike. We love you.
Thank you, Mike. Who knew that only 2 hosts was going to be a mess?
You can't plan for a power outage.
I try to, but it just it always surprises me.
Don't hit stop. Don't hit stop.
Did you not?
I forgot
To insert Yoshi's response?
I forgot the Yoshi's response.